Welcome to this week's episode of Jet Lag in the News. I'm Steve Jasper, aka the Jet Lag Guy. Let's get started. Big news is, of course, this week the ongoing situation in the Middle East, with most flights in the region cancelled or drastically reduced. Airlines including Emirates, Qatar Airways and Etihad have grounded the majority of their flights, and key aviation hubs such as Dubai, Abu Dhabi, Doha and Bahrain are for the most part suspended. There has been a great deal of concern around a sharp spike in flying costs, escalating by as much as 80% as a result of the current situation with Iran. Due to the current situation in the Middle East, flight numbers through Asia have surged. Passenger flows through China have surged a massive 86%, with similar surges in other East and Southeast Asian hubs. Qantas has added an extra service from Sydney to London on Saturdays to help with the increased demand due to the current situation in the Middle East. Qantas does not fly to the Gulf, but rather via Singapore, completely avoiding the current situation. And now to daylight savings time. Last week, daylight savings time began across most of the United States and Canada, with most European nations to soon follow. British Columbia, a province of Canada, has sprung forward to daylight savings for the last time. Instead of changing their clocks twice a year, British Columbia will permanently stay on daylight savings time. Not everyone is happy with this decision, including one expert who has pointed out that daylight is an important signal for our circadian rhythm, and waking up in the winter months will be that much more difficult. Sydney Airport, the current airport, not the new one being finalised, is promoting wellness, which is a wonderful thing. Anytime Fitness will be the airport's new gym, catering for travellers 24/7 to support their jet lag. Allow me to add a suggestion: a blue-green light area to help travellers recalibrate their circadian rhythms. The COVID credits for Virgin Australian flights now expire on the 30th of June 2026. Less than 4 months away. Virgin CEO Dave Emerson did a presentation to investors announcing the deadline. A Virgin spokeswoman stated that the COVID credit deadline had been extended, quote, 4 times over a 4-year period, and that it had done, quote, outreach to customers to tell them to claim them. These credits are currently worth some $93 million Australian to Virgin Australian's bottom line. If you've ever travelled to the United Kingdom for business, you'll understand what I'm about to say next. Hickory Global Partners has named London as both the most expensive and the most popular city for business travel outside of the US, ranking ahead of Paris and Tokyo in terms of expense. I haven't had much research over the last few weeks. I think the academics had a long Christmas-New Year break and then watched the Winter Olympics. Research from the University of Sydney, my alma mater, examined how flight departure and duration times impacted jet lag across 55,296 simulated flights, and the researchers found that, quote, flight departure and arrival times contribute to the variability of jet lag duration and can reverse the direction of circadian adaptation post-flight. These dynamics are mainly governed by light exposure and sleep timing during and around flights. Vanda Pharmaceuticals' jet lag drug Hetlioz path to market has taken an unusual turn, as the US Food and Drug Administration has agreed to conducting a formal hearing regarding its labelling for jet lag. The concern by the FDA has been the company's clinical trial protocols were not, quote, sufficiently analogous to actual jet travel. Hetlioz is currently approved for the treatment of non-24-hour sleep-wake disorder in adults, particularly for totally blind individuals. And finally, plane chairs on Boeing 737-800 flights operated by Japan Airlines have been made unseatable with a device cheekily nicknamed, pardon the pun, the Cheek Splitter 9000. These are in row 15 of these planes and are meant to prevent people from sitting there, but leave the seats in position in case people in row 16 need to assume the emergency brace position in case of turbulence or other air hazard. And that's this week's jet lag in the news. If you have any questions or want to know more about what I do, check out my website at www.jetlagguy.com.au. That's this week's jet lag in the news. I'm Steve Jasper, aka the Jet Lag Guy. Thank you for watching.